Hi chaps, MOP here from Beard, Biceps and Batchat. Today's video is in the newly buffed M48 Patton. Now we're doing this video for a couple of reasons. Well no, it is just one reason. This is a newly buffed tank, so I wanted to take it out to see how good it is. Now I would say, not to give spoilers, this is my highest combined damage game. I've done about 11,000, 10,500 before, but this blows them away a little bit. So the M48 Patton, just give you a little bit of background on this tank if you've never played it before, if you don't know what the buff means for this tank. Essentially this tank has the highest view range in the game at 420 meters. Now this is great. So essentially what this means, just taking that into account, is if you have view range skills on your crew such as situational awareness and recon, you can put vents on this tank and hit the 445 meters hard cap view range. So essentially, rather than having to take optics, you no longer have to take optics on a medium. Generally on mediums, especially tier 10s, you have to take them just to hit 445. You don't have to with this tank. So as you can see, I'm running cola with it just to make sure I've got as much view range as possible. Now, a couple of other things about this tank is it's got really good gun depression as well for a tank this size. It's got a good 9 degrees of gun depression. The DPM is also really interesting for this tank, and it's fairly comparable to the Centurion Action 10. As if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know my love for this tank. There is no verbs, no phrases, no beautiful sentences I could put together to describe my love for the Action 10. But the Patton M48 is close. It's very close. So this tank has great DPM. It's blasting out 7 rounds a minute, 390 alpha damage, 268 penetration. The gun itself it's very similar in the hard stats to the Centurion Action 10, which I love. Now where it differs a little bit is the sort of soft stats. This tank is an absolute machine shooting on the move. It's got 1.9 aim time. It is, put vert stabs on this tank, it's like running a T62A that has prayed to Stalin before a battle. It ain't missing on the move. This thing is insane shooting on the move. Now the top speed on this tank, it isn't great in comparison to other tier 10 mediums. It tops out at about 45 kilometers an hour, whereas OBJ140's Batchats can obviously go a lot faster. Centurion Action X's can go a lot faster. This is also, as you can see here, a very, very big tank. Potentially it's bigger than the E5 as well. Now the buff that this tank had was to do with the turret, and people are asking, is this getting the PC turret? So on PC, the M48 Patton got a completely new turret, which buffed the turret armor as well, obviously because it's a new turret. No, we've not got that. What we have is a turret buff, so it's the exact same turret, but we've gone from 177 millimeters of armor, which isn't very good in M48 Patton, up to 254 millimeters of armor on the turret. Now we still have that large cupola weak spot, as you can see there, that tumor, but essentially it gives it an ability to play a little bit differently. So previously you would probably have to play this tank as a support tank. You're taking advantage of the great DPM, the rate of fire, you're taking advantage of the view range. What you now have the ability to do, as you can see here, is to get hull down. So I'm hull down there, I've got the rocks in front of me for anything like shooting me, and you can rely on the turret armor a little bit more to do a lot more damage. Now this game, and especially this map, really just plays to the M48 Patton's strength, which is a Ridgeline Warrior. You've got 9 degrees of gun depression, which we've been using in this corner. I've got great view range. I'm able to spot, as you can see from my spotting ribbons, I've done more spotted assisted damage than I've done physical damage in this game. I know a lot of people were worried that with buffing the turret armor, it was really going to drive the M48 Patton down the hold down medium route. That it feels like they've been doing with a lot of tanks recently, the Action X, the T62A, but I really don't think it does. It doesn't really take away, it just gives you a different way to play this tank. Essentially the way you want to play this tank is you want to rely on the view range and the DPM, so you want to keep out of damage, as you're seeing that I'm doing here, by relying on the extra 20 meters of view range you get naturally to keep yourself from being spotted. And overall, this is a really good tank. I would explain how I normally play this map, but if you've seen my replays, you've seen 3 or 4, and I play it identically, no matter pretty much whatever tank I'm in. And we've had an absolutely stellar game where we've literally just relied on the strength of this tank, which is, as I've mentioned, the great view range, the great gun depression, and now the buffed turret armor. And we've managed to come away with a really good game. Now, this is a sort of very aggressive play on my part. This is just where I'm trying to milk damage. I can sense a very good game is coming up. I'm trying to get the mastery quite quickly because they've reset the mastery. This is probably my 19th, 20th game in this tank. So I felt I was due a mastery on it. Unfortunately, as we'll see at the end, it's not quite there, and I was a little shocked because this is my highest overall damage game. But it's a good game. It's a game that demonstrates the strength of the pattern. Again, the view range, the DPM, the depression, the turret armor, and I thought I'd get the kill there. Overall, we ended up with 20 spotting ribbons, 11 penetrations, only 1 kill. That's awkward, chaps. That is very awkward. But we've managed to walk away at the end of this game. 59,000 credits, well, 3,300 experience before the multiplier, 4.2k physical damage, 7.3k assisted damage. So as I said before, this is my highest combined damage game, and hopefully it just shows how the new pattern's been buffed and additional ways that you can play this tank, not just as a support tank. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you're enjoying the content. Please like and subscribe to the channel, chaps, and thank you very much for your time.